In a certain country, a miraculous drug is developed that can resurrect the dead, but with a catch, they return as zombies. Ju Hyun, in a daring move, decides to test the drug's effects. Ju Hyun kills his wife and Min Ji turns into zombies and chases Ju Hyun for revenge. During his frantic escape, Ju Hyun heartlessly uses innocent elderly people and children as human shields to buy himself time. At the critical moment when Seo Yoon is about to fall victim, SAE Bomb intervenes just in time to stop the zombie. And soon after, Lee Hyun arrives to subdue it. Lee Hyun meticulously gathers evidence of Ju Hyun's crime of murdering his wife. While escorting Ju Hyun, Lee Hyun briefly loses focus, allowing Ju Hyun to escape. What Ju Hyun doesn't know is that the whole neighborhood is now quarantined. Dense troops surrounded the neighborhood like an iron barrel. Lee Hyun had no trouble finding Ju Hyun in the neighborhood. No one could get out of the neighborhood, so Lee Hyun had to bring Ju Hyun back. At that moment, an announcement was made to tell everyone to go to the conference room for a meeting. Lee Hyun, who had no time to spare, handcuffed Ju Hyun, while saying he volunteered to watch Ju Hyun.
잠시만요.
아니 지금 뭐 하는 거예요? 왜 나한테 진짜 도대체 왜 이러는데? 그럼 화장실은? 화장실 그냥 방에 싸요?
흘리지 마세요.
Lee Hyun threw a bottle to Ju Hyun and went to the meeting room. At that moment, Sunsil complained to Hak Jae, though Hak Jae initially seems indifferent.
긁혔어? 아이고 이래. 약 한 번도 안 사줘 놓고 전봐. 아이 소주는 한 잔해. 술 먹으면 하나도 안 아파.
He is relieved to see that Sunsil only has a bruised wrist and smiles in relief. At this time, Dong Hyun, who had nothing to do at home, came out and not only did he not say a word of concern, but also complained.
동현아, 이 샌드위치 먹을래?
두 분이 많이 잡수고 오래오래 사세요.
아유 저런 버르장물.
Hak Jae pushed open the door of Dong Hyun's room and looked at the room's furnishings and then closed the door angrily. Dong Hyun rushed out of the room, cursing and making a phone call. Dong Hyun never dreamed that he wouldn't be able to get out of the basement. Sunsil secretly examines a real injury in the bathroom, a wound inflicted by a zombie. Soon, news of the neighborhood's lockdown spreads rapidly through various channels, as everyone listens to the official report on TV.
일주일간 단지 전체를 코호트 격리하게 되었습니다.
저 아가씨 난 여기 살지도 않는데 갇혀야 돼요?
감염자 관리 및 전수조사가 가능할 때까지 외부에 나가지 못해 발생하는 모든 피해는 보상하겠습니다.
아니 보상이 아니라
식사를 비롯한 모든 점들의 불편함이 없도록 조치할 테니 잠시만 참아주시고 추가적으로 필요한 사항이 있다면 입주민들께서 논의 후 알려주시기 바랍니다. 이상입니다.
아니 이렇게 하면 안 되지.
Lee Hyun provides additional details about the infected, heightening the tension among the residents. Faced with a diverse group of neighbors, Lee Hyun and SAE Bomb start investigating who else might have taken the zombie-transforming drug, and what happens next. The neighborhood is tightly quarantined. Seo Yoon anxiously awaits a call from her mother, Eun Ji, who is stuck working outside the quarantined area. When Seo Yoon finally receives the call, she excitedly tells her mother that she's doing well at SAE Bomb's house. Eun Ji, unable to enter the neighborhood.
아가씨가 있어서 정말 다행이에요. 정말 고마워요. 제가 금방 들어갈 테니까 우리 서윤이 좀 조금만 더 봐주세요.
너무 걱정 마세요. 저도 서연이랑 있는 거 재밌고 좋아요.
서윤이 심장이 안 좋아요. 스무 판막 폐쇄 부전증이에요. 심장에 피가 고여요. 격렬한 운동 절대로 안 되고 피 흘리는 거 절대로 안 돼요. 저번에도 손톱 조금 다쳤다고 병원에 입원해서 항생제 맞았어요.
제가 잘 지켜볼게요.
그거 몇 분 벌겠다고 애 옆에 있어주지도 못하고 아까 전에 전화 왔는데 못 받았어요. 정말 감사합니다.
아유, 어머님 잘못 아니에요. 너무 걱정하지 말고 계세요. 제가 잘 보살필 테니까.
Entrusts SAE bomb with her daughter's care. A conversation overheard by Seo Yoon from behind the door. Seo Yoon knows that her mother has to work several jobs a day for her sake. Seo Yoon touches her face when she hears SAE bomb open the door. SAE bomb hands Seo Yoon a mobile phone and with a forced smile, she pretends she didn't hear anything and picks up the phone. But after hearing her mother's concern, Seo Yoon couldn't help but cry. SAE bomb couldn't bear to see mother and son separated and called Tae-suk. Upon meeting Tae-suk, SAE bomb directly asks him why children must also be placed among the dangerously quarantined population. Tae-suk responds indifferently to SAE bomb's question, stating that Seo Yoon is safest under her care, especially since Seo Yoon's father has also taken the drug that turns people into zombies. He points out that danger is present both inside and outside the quarantine neighborhood. Hearing this, SAE bomb falls silent. That night, the small one-room flat welcomed 2 guests. Jungkook takes a comforting photo to reassure his wife. The group, lost in thought, struggles to fall asleep. The next day, everyone, except for the spirited SAE bomb, is visibly drained. SAE bomb's energy inspires the others to persevere. However, when they go downstairs to pick up boxed meals, they are locked in by neighbors from another building, who look down on them because they live in Building 1, considered a building for commoners. Angered by this prejudice, SAE bomb grabs Jungkook's gun and confronts them.
수고 나갈까요? 그냥 열래요?
SAE bomb and Ihyun discover that the source of the virus spread in the neighborhood is the gym. They interrogate Sunbeam, the trainer, but he won't tell them anything, and Sunbeam just keeps drinking water as if it's a sign of an attack.
아니 물을 너무 많이 드시네. 목이 자꾸 말라요?
원래 많이 마셔요, 원래.
같이 일한 분이 여기서 약을 팔았거든요.
정부에서는 그 약이 광인병 유발에 영향을 끼친다고 봅니다. 증상은 아시죠? 심한 목마름, 환각.
솔직히 말해봐요. 약 먹었어요?
아니요, 전 진짜 보충제 말고는 안 먹었어요.
가져간 사람들은 알죠? 지금 말 안 하면 판매 혐의까지 받으실 수 있습니다.
전 진짜 모른다니까요.
Alert! SAE bomb opened the blinds and saw a man. The mysterious man's eyes are only exposed, and he seems to be watching SAE bomb. The man, Andrew, a janitor, is described by his colleagues as a bit simple but kind-hearted. He has been self-conscious and reclusive due to a facial scar from a childhood injury. Recently, he started working more confidently because wearing a mask became common. Ihyun almost falls for the woman's fabricated story about Andrew, but becomes suspicious after seeing Andrew's deliberately defaced ID. Despite these concerns, their immediate priority is to control the spread of the virus. They lock Sunbeam up for everyone's safety. To their surprise, the next day when they bring Sunbeam his food, they find the office empty. Sunbeam has escaped. The question arises, where could Sunbeam be? And could he turn into a zombie? SAE bomb and Ihyun follow the trail of Sunbeam's escape. In the lift room, SAE bomb found a pool of bloodstains. As the elevator approaches their floor, they hear a growling sound from inside and quickly realize the danger. Fleeing as fast as they can, during the escape, SAE bomb spots Sunbeam hiding in a car and signals him to run with them before it's too late. The group of people hiding behind the glass door are gasping for breath.
아니 물 진짜 안 먹었어요. 근데 왜 뛰어? 아니 누구이 뛰니까 뛰었죠.
Deoksun and Sunbeam looked at them with a confused look on their faces. They don't know what's going on, and the danger is approaching them step by step. With the bloody handprints on the glass door, it means that the residents of the neighborhood are starting to mutate into zombies. Meanwhile, Andrew stands on the rooftop, witnessing the horrific scene of people turning into zombies. He seems calm, as if he had anticipated this development. Back in Building 1, Saebom and Ihyun are busy sealing all exits. The others, still not fully grasping the situation, are perplexed by their actions.
좋아.
The scene in front of them made them realize how dangerous it was outside the building. Saebom receives a call from Tae-suk, who reminds her, "Now you should understand why I did what I did." Tae-suk, watching the monitors, informs her that except for their building, all others have fallen to the zombies. They're on their own now. Hearing this, Saebom panics and looks at the stairs leading to the basement. There's no door that can be closed. Unsure how to face the zombies swarming the neighborhood, she knows she must stay strong for those she must protect. Tae-suk arrives at a secret base. The chairman in front of his is the one who produces the zombies' virus drug. The chairman, the first to turn into a zombie, had bitten and killed Tae-suk's pregnant wife. Tae-suk accuses the chairman of releasing the stored drugs, feeding them to unsuspecting people to increase the number of infected and speed up the development of a cure. Confronted with the truth, the chairman brazenly taunts Tae-suk, claiming he enjoyed the taste of Tae-suk's wife's blood and curiously wondering whether their unborn child was a boy or girl. Tae-suk, frowning, remarks, "You must be quite thirsty now." Jisoo questions why Tae-suk hasn't quarantined and monitored the chairman. Tae-suk said that the chairman is too high-ranking for Tae-suk to move just because he wants to. He tells Jisoo he will provide a list of everyone the chairman has contacted, urging her to find every single one without fail. As the neighborhood's turmoil continues and external matters escalate, the critical question remains, how will they confront this rising tide of zombies?